Thank you.
Sorry. Hi, I'm Jenna from DH Singapore. So my question is more on greener finance. Thank you. So essentially, can you tell us a bit more on some of the top challenges that banks in Asia Pacific face when it comes to greening their operations, and perhaps how is Huawei helping them in that aspect? Thank you.
来自 Edge Singapore 的这个记者，我想问一下，这个特别是关于这个更加绿色的这个金融服务，那怎么样华为是帮助亚太区的这个银行来把他们的这个金融服务呢更加的绿色化，让银行呢更多的受益的？
因为本身呢，因为银行在提供服务的过程中它其实这个问题那个几个方面。第一呢，它在提供服务的过程中，本身是会消耗大量的算力就是这个那么消耗大量的算力就带来了能源那我们今天其实看到我们对数字这种需求越来越多，其实背后我们付出的能源的消耗是越来越多的。而银行呢，它这个金融机构作为一个重数据运营的这么一个机构，这个地方它是非常可观的，所以必须要考虑这个第一个问题
For banks to provide financial services, they are actually a very large consumer of computing resources and computing power. So to make them go digital, they need to consume a lot of digital resources and they need to consume a lot of data.
那所以说呢，我们是提供一个技术所以说我们必须从技术的角度来思考怎么去解决这个问题那我们现在呢，其实是从3个方向去提升银行这个金融机构的这个能耗和低碳。
Because we're a technology provider, we have to think from the perspective of technologies to resolve this issue to help the bank reduce their carbon emission and save energy. And so there are 3 directions we're focusing on.
第一个呢，就是从供电的环节，怎么样呢？这个通过更清洁的能源比如说这个光伏太阳能等等那种清洁的能源，这个来让那个金融机构在这个供电的环节就能够说变成一种绿色的这么一种行为。
The first direction or innovation we should be focusing on is on the power supply. For banks to go with cleaner energy, to use more PV or solar energy. And that is from the perspective of power supply to help the financial institutions to go clean.
对，所以刚好呢，我们就有这个数字能源的解决方案所以这个就可以帮助。这其中比如说有光伏那还有呢，我们这次也要发布的一些 smart， 我们叫 smart 锂这种电源的技术。
And fortunately, we have the digital energy or digital solutions for energy consumption, and we have PV energies as well as smart Leon energy to be used.
第二个呢，就是说叫用电，就是因为我们有各种各样的 IT 的设备，那么我们呢通过技术让这些设备在使用过程中能够这个降低能耗比如说我们的散热的设计，如果散热的设计做得更好，其实就可以减少 cooling 这种系统更多的用电去让它降温所以说这个包括我们的这种单板的这个设计我们的这个可以呢通过一些循环系统的设计，让这些在用电的过程中呢，整个的能耗比达到最佳。
The second aspect we're focusing is on power consumption. For banks to use a lot of equipment, we can actually apply technology to improve the efficiency of heat spreading so that the power used for cooling system will be reduced. And specifically, we have designed some cycle system, the recycle system for heat to be dispersed efficiently and smartly.
最后一个呢，就是我们叫管电就是管理。这个呢，这个要从一个端到，也是要从端到端的角度思考。比如说这个我们有存储系统、交换机路由器这些的，它的用电量比较高。那么呢，我们开发了一些，比如说像 iMaster 这样的管理模块。
The third aspect is power management, and this solution can address end-to-end problems. For example, we have M2RS management modules to manage the storage, the server, and other equipment.
它们具备的这种智能的功能，它可以来判断什么时候是这个设备运行的这个高峰期什么时候是它的空闲期。比如说在晚上业务低谷的时候，它可以关闭很多模块的用电这样的话，在用电高峰期再重开启这个模块的用电通过这么一种模式实现对这个用电的管理。
The smart management module of the system can actually detect when is the peak period and non-peak period of the equipment usage for the bank. For example, at nighttime, some of the modules can be shut down to save power. And during the daytime, when the peak period comes, more modules will be started.
可以请问一下，就是华为有估计过刚才您说的，就是这个 greening infrastructure 这一块的那个市场规模大概有多少？就是从你们的 perspective 有去估计过？
The question is that regarding the green infrastructure that you talked about, can you give an estimate of the market size?
这个问题我还真不太了解，好吧？我们可以查一下，回头可以把相关的信息发给你。
Sorry, I'm not really an expert in the specific data, so we will do some checks and come back to you.
Hi. So kind of expanding on the Edge Singapore's question on green finance, are you able to share any specific examples or case studies of how Huawei has helped local banks, for example, like OCBC or DBS with their green finance initiatives?
刚才呢 ，Edge Singapore 的记者呢有提问到关于这个更加绿色的金融服务，那您能不能够跟我们分享一下新加坡本地的一些成功案例？比如说这个星展银行，他们是怎么样使用您的解决方案来取得这样的一个成果的？
这个其实现在呢，新加坡的银行也好，全世界的银行都面临这样的挑战哈。其实我们的一些刚才我讲到的，从这个特别是在用电或者管电环节，我们的很多方案就是已经嵌入到我们的这个解决我们的产品里头，这个已经跟很多客户都在使用了也包括一些新加坡的客户。
So this is not only a challenge for Singapore banks, but also globally. For us, we have the power management as well as the power consumption modules or technologies embedded in our product suites, and many of our clients are already using it.
因为过去我们看到很多的这个解决方案呢，它呢跟现在我们提供的方案相比，其实呢有几个显著的不同比如说它的这种第一呢，就是说它的 performance 就是这个效率不高，如果想达到同样的效果，它需要更多的这个电源的能耗的输入。第二个呢，其实呢很多它不智能就是没有办法通过智能的方式，像刚才我讲的非常灵活的去管控
Of course, comparing with the many solutions, existing solutions that has been used in the past, our solutions have very significant differences. The first difference is on the performance. For the existing solutions, the performance are not so high, so you need to consume much more energy in order to achieve the same efficiency, the same result. And secondly, these solutions are not smart enough and not able to produce flexible configurations, as I have described before.
那我们呢，从技术的角度，其实我们通过4个方向去解决这些问题。那第一个呢，就是刚才讲到的供电的环节的效率提升，比如说传统的电池到我们这种新兴的电池这个它的这个能耗的效果更好。那第二个呢，就是说我们简化我们的产品的架构简化架构。第三个呢，就是我们通过算法来实现智能最后呢，就是说我们通过这个端到端的这种运维管理来实现整体的最佳。那么通过这4个方向的努力，其实我们从结果上看，很多的从客户的视角来看，原来一个很大的柜子可能它的这个这个 performance 也是有限的，现在就可以用一个很小的柜子连占地面积都省了。其实这也是这个 sustainable 的一块。
So from the technology perspective, we have 4 solutions or 4 measurements to help resolve the issues. The first is on power supply, transferring or transitioning from the traditional types of batteries to new types of batteries that we use, we can improve the energy efficiency significantly. And secondly, we're simplifying the energy structure for usage. And thirdly, we use AI algorithms to make the configuration smarter. And fourthly, we focus on operation management to provide an end-to-end smart solution. And with these 4 approaches or applications, the performances have been significantly improved in terms of reducing energy. And an added benefit is that you only need a small rack or a small cabinet. So the space saving is also significant.
Jason, do you mind talking about one of your current projects as an example, like OCBC? OCBC as an example. Do you mind talking about this as an example?
Yeah, OCBC, they use our products. Yeah.
Now let's give the next question to our friends online. So Brad King.
Jason, hi.
Hi.
Hello
Hi,
from Bangkok. How are you, friend?
Okay.
Sorry,
nice.
I can't be there with you in Singapore, but so I have a question that sort of relates to some of the statistics you gave in the keynote. You talked about 90% of Chinese banks in some respect on the cloud. And you've obviously talked about the benefits of the green elements of the cloud. But one of the key problems we have in reducing mainframe MIPS, as you described it in the keynote, is the core system. And most of the work we're doing in the cloud right now is a middleware extension to the core rather than core replacement. Do you think that is Huawei's strategy to lead to more core replacement, or how do you see the relationship between the core and the cloud progressing over time?
我有一个问题呢，是关于这个您在演讲中所提到的这个关于90%这个中国银行的这个国内的这些个银行呢，他们现在都在进行这个云的这样的一个迁移和这个转移也使用到大型机组。那么有一个关键的问题，就是对于这个核心银行的替代，或者是作为一个延展到底是进行进一步的延展呢，还是说把它进行一个替代，把它完全移动到云上面？那么这个您能不能给出一些个解答？
其实这个首先呢，趋势是非常清晰的一定要走向更开放的技术和更开放的架构那云呢， 毫无疑问是这个选择这是第一点。
Undoubtedly, the first point I want to mention is to go open framework and go to cloud.
问题是每一家银行都有自己的实际情况可能会采取不同的策略。有的银行呢，可能就会采取一种比较保守的办法那有的呢可能会采取一种一步一步的办法，有的可能会采取一种比较激进的办法因为各自的情况都不同，有些可能业务压力非常大，需要迅速的从传统的架构走向新的架构，以构建这种敏捷性去满足客户需求。
Well, the second point is that each bank has their specific situations and their specific strategies to deal with that. Some of the banks are pretty conservative and some of them are pretty aggressive. They want to achieve it all at one go, and some of them will take steps and take the time. And of course, the reasons are different. Some of them may be pressured by their business development speed, and some of them will have to build in the agility into their operation.
那么我们作为一家技术公司呢，其实做的就是说面向未来这个比较确定性的方向。那么但是呢，不同的类的客户有不同的需求我们可能需要有不同类型的方案去满足他们需要快速去做云转型的，我们就提供快速的方案。如果说比如说今天我讲到的一个 case 这个他对他的大量的应用进行了重启这个就是比较彻底的。那还有的客户呢，他不想短期内对他的应用进行重构，他只想短期内呢降低一些成本那所以说我们也有这样的方案。
And from a technology provider's perspective, we want to be sure about the directions this bank would like to go forward about. And then, of course, we have different solutions for different customers. For those who wanted to do it fast, to transit to digital or transform digitally fast, we can actually provide them quicker solutions and to reconstruct their applications. And for those who doesn't really want to spend so much on reconstructing their applications, we have other solutions to help them save the cost.
但最后再补充一点，那这其中我们要做的工作就是把这些核心的这些技术能力我们要建起来，比如说您提到的云还有数据库还有中间件这些技术。
And then, of course, we will have to help the banks build their core technical capabilities, such as what you have mentioned, the cloud, the database, and the middlewares.
Okay.
Sure. Thanks, Jason.
Thank you.
你好，新华社记者，我想请问一下，就是我们华为作为一个金融云的提供商，在国内面临一些要求备案这些的合规的风险。那么在海外扩张的这个路径中，有没有遇到其他国家也有这些要求？华为做到合乎当地法律要求的这些要求，或者是这些的风险呢？华为是怎么应对的？
So this question is from Xinhua News Agency. The question is that in the financial industry, especially in China, there are some compliance risks and compliance regulations, and of course, when Huawei is expanding the digital finance solutions in overseas market, each country may have their own compliance requirements. How would Huawei deal with the compliance issues and requirements in each country?
这个因为金融行业是个强监管行业安全风险要求是非常高的所以这个所有这肯定这是非常肯定的每个国家都有自己严格的监管的要求。
For digital finance, Huawei I mean, for financial institutions to serve them, security and risk control is paramount. And so for each countries, of course, there are different compliance requirements that Huawei has to follow.
那我们呢，在这点上呢，基本上我们尤其是现在好多呢，业务啊，要去考虑到上云啊，上云本身也有安全性的这个要求。那么我们呢，基本上呢都会对这些国家的这些监管啊、安全的要求，还是要做深入的系统性的分析啊。同时呢，我们也和一些外部的这个合规的一些伙伴啊一起合作啊，肯定是要确保啊这个首先是本身从技术角度安全啊可靠啊，其次呢是一定要是满足各个国家啊金融机构啊对它的合规的要求，而且我们的这些都是经过了审查，因为每个国家也都有它的审查的这种机制。
So of course, when it comes to business transitioning into cloud, security is always very important. Besides our internal analysis on compliance requirements, we are also working with external partners to actively follow the compliance guidelines in each country. To us, security and reliability in our technology is the foremost important thing. And after that, we have to be able to follow the compliance guidelines in each country by each financial institutions. And these are extremely important to us.
I think we still have time for 1 or 2 questions. So anyone has any questions? Oh, Brad King.
Hey, so I'm interested in some of the advances you're working on that, you know, both in respect to artificial intelligence in terms of automation of banking, and really from an edge computing perspective, how do you see us continuing to make cloud infrastructure increasingly sustainable and ESG compliant? I know you've talked about power supply, but what are some other things that you're looking at to make cloud computing less energy intensive?
我的这个问题呢是关于这个人工智能啊、自动化这方面。那么在这个特别是关注到这个边缘计算 （edge computing），那您有提到说这个云的基础设施呢要保持它的这个可持续性发展，也具体的提到了，比如说在供电方面，那在其他方面有哪些具体的措施来保持这种可持续云基础设施的可持续性发展？
这个，因为你提到了几个词儿都比较多哈，又有云，又有人工智能啊，还有边缘计算，这个其实从每个视角都有很多的这个都有它很多的这个独特的东西哈。我其实分享一个小的一个案例啊。
You mentioned about many terms, cloud, AI, edge computing, and I think from each perspective, each one of the technologies, there are unique features. And maybe to start, let me share with you a small case.
我们每个人都在用手机啊，用手机这个都在用银行的 app 啊。其实这个我们面临的这个网络是非常复杂的。如果说手机点进去之后，一直到服务端，它会经过我们手机就是一个边缘啊，就是一个 edge 啊，它会通过就近的移动基站啊，或者这个 WiFi 连到网络，通过一个非常复杂的网络再连到云端啊，再去到了银行的这个业务系统，其实中间是非常长的一个链路。
The example is about mobile phone, all right? If you use your mobile phone to carry out mobile banking, to run a mobile banking application, the network involved is very complicated. because the mobile phone itself is an edge device, edge computing device. And whenever you're connecting to the mobile banking application, you are actually the data actually goes through your mobile phone to the nearby cell station, and perhaps going through the local Wi-Fi network up to the cloud. And from the cloud, the Wi-Fi to the cloud, there is also a complex path.
这个时候，假设用户在使用 app 的时候发生了故障，就一个服务你点了没有成功，那问题在哪里呢？是网络侧，还是在云侧，还是在银行的某一个应用侧？其实就变成了一个很复杂的问题。但是呢，为了提升我们的客户满意度，它就需要快速的发现这个问题，要去解决这个问题。
So if there's an issue with the service, say the customer click on a button in the application and there is no response, and you need to find out where the problem is. Is it the phone itself, or is it the network that it is connecting to, or is it with the banking application? And to provide a better customer experience, you need to quickly identify where that problem is.
那如果这种情况用传统的模式，它可能就每一段可能都需要去检查。那如果说现在我们走向现在的我们讲到的这个 autonomous 的这种模式它可能就会用一种完全不同的方式，它从端到端就会从信令的传递的角度，通过智能的算法很快就能识别出来，可能是某一段断了迅速的去发现问题，然后就能够快速的解决问题。我认为其实这呢，就是说我们看到的云边缘，这个包括这个人工智能，还有很多技术的一种综合的一种使用。那我认为现在这就是我们走向未来越庞大的这个一个云和网的情况下，业务也越来越复杂。那么未来呢，就要逐步这个走向这种自动化部署的这个自动驾驶的这么一种网络。
So if you're using a traditional system, then you need to go through every segment on this journey to find where that problem is. However, if we are taking an autonomous approach, you are basically looking at the signal transmission end to end and identify that problem at one go and solve it in a fast manner. So this is a classic example of using cloud plus edge computing plus AI combined together, and with more and more business processes add together and getting complicated, we are actually gearing towards this direction to have the autonomous, driving as an example to make sure that problems can be quickly identified and resolved.
Thank you. Here comes to our last question today. Peter Carroll, Penn Daily, please.
Great, hello. So my question is, I understand this is the first year that Huawei has decided to hold this summit overseas in Singapore. So I'm wondering, does this reflect more of an external facing or international orientation for Huawei Financial Services in the future, and which regions or countries is the firm really going to thrive in first? Thank you.
我的这个问题呢是关于这一次的这个华为的这个智能金融的这个峰会呢是第一次在中国以外在海外来召开，那么这可能也是传达一个含义，就是更多的在这个领域呢是向外来这个进入到更多的国家和地区的市场。那我想了解一下呢，到底您的第一步可能是关注在哪一个区域或是哪一个国家的市场？
其实呢，我们很早就想过我们在3年前都计划说在我们在2019年就讨论说2020年我们在新加坡举行一场峰会并不是说今天才考虑的。
Actually, we started to plan for this summit 3 years ago. In 2019, we have actually planned to have this summit in Singapore in 2020. It is not something that we just planned and have today.
因为只是因为疫情的原因哈，让我这个有些耽搁了，那个你先把这句说。
It's actually because of the COVID-19 pandemic that has delayed this whole process.
其实为什么我们之前一直在中国举行啊？其实我们做这个峰会，很重要的一块啊，不光是华为给大家介绍我们的方向，其实也非常重要的是让业界的同行在一起啊交流和学习经验。那么过去，你先讲。
Why did we choose China as our primary location to have this summit? Because it is a summit not only for Huawei to share what we have learned, what we have achieved, but most importantly, we can actually communicate and discuss with our fellow players in the same market and to learn from each other.
因为过去呢，很多这个国外的银行对中国的金融机构的数字化转型非常感兴趣，所以每年呢，他们都想利用这个机会参加华为峰会到中国来学习，因为每年的峰会我们都请很多中国的银行。那么现在呢，因为疫情呢，去中国不太方便，大家呢其实对新加坡的银行的数字化转型也非常感兴趣，因为新加坡的银行的数字化转型，这个尤其像星展这样也是走在全球的前列啊，所以呢，我们就来这里。其实也是让大家在新加坡互相交流学习。
And in the past, many foreign banks are interested in the digitization, the digital transformation of Chinese banks. And so they wanted to come to China to learn from them. However, because of the pandemic, and even now it is inconvenient to travel to China. But at the same time, we noticed that these foreign banks are equally interested in Singaporean banks, and take DBS as an example, which is a pioneer in terms of digital transformation. So that is the reason why we wanted to bring everybody to Singapore and to have the communication and discussion here.
对，其实我们呢看到有两类的这样的市场或者是客户，您刚才问的问题其实都是我们很关注的。有一类呢就是传统的银行他们呢现在其实对数字化的，因为数字化的压力或者是动力都比较大。为什么呢？因为他们的客户的行为发生了变化，他必须去改变，去适应这种变化。那还有一类呢，就是其实我们看到很多的地方的人民还没有享受到就是说这种基本的金融服务比如说在一些非洲的很多地方。那我们呢，其实呢也有一个方向，就是普惠金融帮助这些地方的人民这个能够快速便捷的使用到金融服务其实比如说在像这个在非洲就比较多亚太一些国家也有，我们已经帮助了那个有3.8亿的人口他不太便捷的使用金融这个服务的，开始通过我们的技术使用了金融服务。
There are two types of market and two types of customers we are usually targeting in this case. And the first types of customers are traditional banks. They have experienced very large pressures or motivations to go digital. And that's because their customers' behaviors are changing as well. And so they received such a power to go digital, to have the transformation. The second type of customers are areas or regions that do not have prevalent financial services, such as Africa. So we are pushing for inclusive finance, for consumers to be able to use financial services in a faster and more convenient way. And in Africa and in Asia Pacific, those are the target regions for us. We have already enabled or empowered 380 million people in this scheme to have access to financial services.
All right, so it's been a great session and it's about time to wrap up. On behalf of Huawei, I'd like to thank all our media friends for joining us today and for all your questions. And of course, a special thank you to Mr. Jason Chow for the discussion today. We hope to see you at the keynote tomorrow morning and in all future events of Huawei. And I hope you're going to enjoy the rest of the Huawei Intelligent Finance Summit 2022. Thank you again and have a wonderful day. Goodbye. Thank you.